We're back with probably the finish of our P-3 Orion Diorama. So, while we were gone, I let all of that, the gloss gel, dry completely, at least 24 hours. So you want it really good and dry. Then I did a base coat of white. There's still some aluminum showing through, but that's not a big deal. Now, we're gonna paint the ocean. I just don't feel like breaking out my airbrush today, so I'm gonna brush paint it. We're using Army Painter. So I've got some ultramarine blue, some deep blue, some Wizard's Orb, and some matte white. And we're gonna do this with some thin down wet paints so that we kind of blend these colors together. So get some water on the brush. I'm gonna start with the deep blue, and we're just gonna get some paint on the board. And as we go along, you'll see when I start adding colors in, we'll start to blend them together. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do for a little bit. I plan on doing the base. I'm not worried about getting too much paint on the base, on the exterior, because I'm gonna do that in a military, like a naval gray. So that'll be all good to go. So, and I don't mind a little bit of the white showing through here, because that does give some depth. And like I said, we're gonna be mixing some colors, and I'm going to draw on some of my art background, you know, from my degree in applied poverty, and do some wet on wet mixing to get these colors to kind of blend into what an ocean generally looks like. So I'm gonna zip up the video a little bit and put in some captions, and away we go. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so we have finished our dry brushing. We have some darker blues, some lighter blues, some greens in there. So we got some depth to the ocean. There's more, we added more green towards the edge of the boat because it's churning up algae as it surfaces. And then of course more white to show the froth and the wake. And now what we're going to do is we are going to add some more texture with cotton. The way we do this is I do a 50-50 mix of basically just plain old white glue and water. Or, you know, not quite 50-50, but you know, what works for you. Start with 50-50. You might like to work with a thicker glue setting or thinner. It all really depends. Let me just get some water out here. And mix it all up nice. Like so. Now what I'll do is I'll mix some of the glue down on, this has like a little depression on it. So I'll have watery glue down here and thicker glue up here that I can use. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna yank some of this, and wherever I want sea foam, I'm going to add it like so. And you see I'm just gonna brush it across with my brush and pull it off. And subs, the modern subs, when they surface, they tend to get this like line of water that's right on the edge. That's a foam line, basically. So we're gonna try and mimic that. I think I got too much foam. If you have too much foam, just grab a pair of tweezers, pull away what you don't need. Look at that. I want just, come here, you. I want to keep this bit here. So we'll just set that aside. There's that little wave line I want, like that. Get back some more here. That's still too much. Let's go with just a little less. And this takes a lot of practice. It's fun, don't get me wrong, fun practice, but it takes practice so you don't end up clumping your cotton. And it, you know, trying to get it into believable little ways. You can kind of sculpt it with your brush, like so. And we want some kind of streaks pouring off of the elevator here, or the dive plane. So we'll just pull it back like that. I try to keep the brushes going in the direction that the water's flowing. Brush strokes, I should say. Like so. We're going to have some flowing off of the side of the boat. No, that's too much, so we'll just, and once again, if it's too much, just take it off. This takes a while to dry, so you got plenty of work time with it. Make sure your tweezers come together at the tip, unlike mine. So, back here again. That. Don't want it on the mast, I want it on the side there. A little bit of water and glue, and we'll get it. That's what I'm looking for. You can see you just tap it down so it's not fuzzy, and it's hard to describe. You'll understand when you try this. You don't want like fuzzy. You don't want it to be standing up from the away from the ship. especially on a submarine, because the water just basically careens down, or cascades, I should use the word, cascades down the side of the ship in wavelets. So you find a natural spot, like this area here is going to be a natural spot where water kind of will start to cascade down. And, oops, see? And you got to be a little, got to be gentle with it. Just take your time. Remember, this is a hobby. You're having fun. If it starts to frustrate you, stop and just move on. Never, ever let your hobby become no fun. Then it's not worth it. Now that's too much there. I don't like that. So I'm just going to take that portion. And you see, sometimes it just won't break apart. So just start over. I wanted just to tear that big clump away, but that wasn't going to come away. So we'll just start with a new piece like that. You see, it just real easy, goes right on. Get my brush wet with the glue. And this is where I want it to start basically adhering. And then I'm going to brush it down and away, like so. There. It's more like what I want. And a little bit goes a long way. My problem today is I'm using more than I really should be. So a little bit goes a long way. So you'll notice there, that's all I really need. And once again, paint, we're going to put it right here, right along these vent lines. Water is streaming out of those vent lines, like that. There we go. And of course you can add some to the waves back here. There's going to be a little bit of a frothy mist. Did I bump my camera? I apologize. Same thing along the edge here. You can also use, once it becomes kind of clumpy like this, you can use it to form the waves just like that. So I can pull this up and make an actual little wave there, like so. We're going to do that all along the sides of the ship. Once again, I usually put the liquid, the paint and water down first. Then I get the cotton where I want it. There we go. That's looking what I want. again, you can brush this up, and I can make that a bit more of a wave right there, just by adding the glue in. Make it curl like so. Get some nice form to it, to those waves. Put another long bit across the back here. And of course, if you drip mixture onto your sea, it's not going to matter because it does dry completely clear. So there we go. Smooth that in a little bit. You see how things start to come alive a little bit there. Okay, that area just looks too clumpy. I don't like the way that looks. So once again, I said you had a lot of time to work with this, right? Look at that. It's coming right off. Just don't like how clumpy that looks. Water should be flowing back along the body of the ship. So I'm gonna just continue to brush until I can get these little lines to do what I want them to do. Like that. Much better. There. Got a little bit of fuzz sticking up, so we're gonna fix that there. We got water washing over the dive plane nicely. That's good. And then we're going to go to the other side, and we're going to work on the same thing here. Now, these holes, that's fine. Submarines create eddies when they lift or when they surface. So what I'll do is I'll take some of this cotton and try and kind of help the water look like it's swirling there. And I'll show you how I'm going to try to do that. So we're going to get some of our paint or our glue mixture down and get this. And then as we get this nice and tucked in there, one of the things you can do is as you sculpt this in, you can kind of make it coil. See if I can get that effect I want. So, there we go. Got a little bit of a coil going there. Well, it's not really obvious, but it's just enough. This is a lot. This is a lot of fun. It really is. Like I said, it takes practice, but then again, everything in this hobby takes a little practice. The more you do, the better you get. The better you get, the more you want to do. The more you want to do, the better you get. So, you know, This is a hobby. This is fun. Otherwise, why the heck are you doing? Why are you spending the money? Why are you doing it? Do it because it's enjoyable. It's fun. It's something we all like to do. I love the research. I love the, the assembly. I love finishing. I like getting to the end and going, oh, it's almost done. Yay. Next project. So, if I do anything with this channel, I hope that I help people to have fun with their hobby. That's the important part of this. The model builders are a community, to be honest. People don't understand what we do sometimes. They think it's sometimes people think it's childish or silly. I don't think that's true. Some people think it's a waste of money. Maybe. Don't care. But, it's what you enjoy. Here. All right. Wash off our brush. So let's take a look. So there we go. Now here, if I bring it up close, you can see the fuzzies that I was talking about. You see how the cotton is kind of stray strings are coming away. You don't want that. So to get rid of that, what you do is you get your brush, get the watery mixture. This one I usually go a little bit more water. I want a watery mixture of the glue, and that's where you kind of just find those and you brush them down into place. And sometimes you need to move the model around so you can see where they are. I like to get my face right down into the kit. Look. And plus, if those are free, those little fuzzies, what'll happen is they'll collect dust like nobody's business, and then they'll become really obvious, and it just doesn't make for a good display. So now you see I pulled some up there. So what we're going to do is we're going to very carefully put it right back where it was. Back to the glue. It's smoothed down. It kind of had a good little wave going there. There we go. Yeah. And now we're done. We let that dry. Okay? So, what's next? Not very much. We are going to paint our base, and then we're going to mount our P3, and then we're done. So why don't I get to doing the base? Well, we'll let this dry for a few minutes and get, white glue doesn't take forever to dry, so we're gonna let that dry, get that taken care of, then we'll come back, do up the base, mount the P3, and get some beauty shots, because we will be done with this project. All right, be right back. there we go. The P-3 Orion Diorama is finished. Do some close-ups here. There's our P-3. There's our evil Russian sub. And the whole thing all together. A quick spin for us. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I enjoyed putting it together. Hope you learned some new stuff. Hope you had fun. And as always, till next time, keep on modeling. I will see you later, and y'all stay safe and have a wonderful, wonderful day. See you soon.